That's for the gender fluid.
Whenever you're ready, Ray.
This episode... Jayson, I think I broke. Can I retry life?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Damn it. I need to recenter my chi. Okay. This episode of Entertaining Stupid Podcast is brought to you by the Humane Orchard's new cruelty-free cider, Juice Love Cider. You see, regular cideries harvest their apples by cruelly ripping them from their trees and families, and then force them to be crushed and juiced against their wills. The world needs a better way. Apples deserve a better way. Humane Orchards, even better, is that solution. Juice Love Cider is made cruelty-free throughout its entire process. Their apples caught humanely and not ripped from their source. Each apple is approached and asked, "Fruit, are you willing to become cider? Do you feel ready?" Only those that have consented are chosen and handpicked to become Juice Love Ciders. Those apples go on to Humane Orchards facilities with dignity and our respect. And these values are imparted on the flavor of these ciders. Please visit www.thisisnotaproduct.com and use the promo code JUICELOVE to receive 20% off your order. That's promo code JUICELOVE at checkout to receive 20% off your next order. Juice Love Ciders. We only use the fruit that is chosen to become cider.
There you go.
That got a lot better as I went on.
Yeah, well,
I can't read.
In a stride. General grunt of disdain.
Are you getting old, Jayson?
Of course I am.
You're almost as old as me.
Huh.
Do you
I'm
really,
gonna die.
Do you really have to think about that, Ray?
Yeah.
But he's like a month younger than me. We literally, like an hour ago, went over when everyone's birthdays are.
We just talked about this.
You talked. I didn't listen.
What the fuck does my rearview mirror have anything to do with this? The fuck?
What?
Dad?
Isn't that just a piece of glass?
No, mine's special because it's got...
Yours has things in it?
Mine
Mine has a sensor in there. I don't know what it is.
Mine has a backup camera in it.
Well-la-dee-da. The fuck?
What does Dan want?
No, it's not. This is my dad.
Oh, your dad.
Anyways.
Talk about the problem that Ray was having with
Continue on with life. I'll just be
Certainly.
over here.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. We're not on the couches. We're at my dinner table because it actually showed up.
Yay.
So, hey, second sets without even trying. Yeah.
It's a nice table.
Thank you. This week on the Entertaining Stupid Podcast, of course, you have me, buddy Jayson. My friends with me are...
Sylvan!
And Rheal.
Yeah. I don't know how coherent we're going to be since we just had supper and...
I'm like 97% to the way of having a nap.
Yay.
Naps are so good.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
You know what? Instead of a nap, though, lately what I do is I just go lay in bed. And, like, not try and fall asleep, but just lay in bed and be comfy for like 20 minutes.
Do you watch YouTube or something?
No, just straight up lay in bed, dark lights, like turn the lights off and everything.
That
So it's
sounds,
like,
that sounds like a nap.
it's trying to nap, but I know I'm not trying to fall asleep. Like, I'm not.
I'm probably out in like 5-10 minutes.
How? What?
It's called being tired
Jesus.
all the time.
Yeah.
Fuck me then, alright.
Ray sitting there fucking jerking off.
No, it's
That'll put me right to sleep.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, I thought this week I would get you guys together because I want to talk about. Well, there was one thing that kind of triggered my whole thought on this. I think it's either NBC or it's Hulu has decided to bring back Futurama.
Oh yeah.
It's on Hulu, but I don't know who actually.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's owned. Hulu's owned by NBC, so at some point NBC.
It's actually Loblaws who funded it.
Old Dutch is funding this.
Russian oligarchs.
And you know,
Ooh.
it got me thinking because South Park came back because MTV or much or whatever it threw a shit ton of money at it.
Boatloads of fucking money.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. And then it got me thinking about all of the stuff that we loved before is now being rebooted, and I'm just getting concerns. Is that the right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting concerned about a lot of this stuff because like. We grew up with it. We kind of look to these shows through like rose-tinted glasses, and like, is it gonna live up to the hype?
Depend. Like,
there's a lot of depends.
Like the new Lord of the Rings that's coming out. I have a feeling that might not, just because of how many Academy Awards the Lord of the Rings won.
Oh, it's like you're trying to live up to the bar that's fucking
That's
top.
so high. Whereas Futurama has been canceled like what 3 times and brought back. Yeah. So like that one, and it's got like the same writers now with Joe DiMaggio back on all the original cast.
So you have original voice cast and they have original writers. Oh, then that should be pretty good. Yeah. Because at least you're going back to the old.
Now, in my mind at least, with Futurama, like they got canceled so many times. They decided that at those points they would wrap up the story in a nice little bow. And they did it. I loved. Was it the first time they got canceled? They did the Fry plays the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame.
That was a good episode.
Yeah.
The Devil's Hands are idle playthings.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic end.
And at the end of that, they sort of got together.
Yeah, him and Leela is like.
She was at least willing to entertain the thought.
Yeah, because he plays like the child version of his story now when he got his hands back.
Yeah, and it was also the fact like he could have used the devil's hands and made it look all professional and great, but he's like, no, I want to play you my own thing that I did, right?
Yeah, because she also.
Or am I
she
misremembering?
Also went deaf too, if you remember. If she went deaf and she traded
Calculon's antennae.
Yeah,
is what she ended up with.
Right.
Yeah. And then she got that because she made a deal with
the devil.
Right.
To get her. Was it her hands? I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw
it. It is her hand in marriage.
Yes, that's what it is.
Oh. So then to negate that one, Fry gave back the hands?
Give back the devil's hands. Because like it was at his concert where he was playing like a professional
right.
holophone recital.
Right. And he was like, well, this all means nothing because Leela can't hear it. So he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was that, and then there was the Bender goes back in time thing, which was a fantastic storyline there. Because Bender goes
back to like Roswell era.
Oh,
and, like the alien they find
that one
is Zoidberg.
Yeah,
that's an episode.
That was just a regular episode.
The one that he's like a Terminator or whatever, and like he gets
the tattoo on his ass.
No, I do.
No, but that was the movie, and they had like 3 or 4 movies. That wasn't the last one.
No, that was supposed to be a point where that ends.
Just that one movie?
Yeah, those movies were supposed to be the end there.
Oh, the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because it was that was the first one, and then there was like Beast with a Billion Backs
Bender's
and
Big Score,
Bender's Endgame.
Endgame and Beast with a Billion Backs.
Yeah, so it's 3 movies.
Those were supposed to wrap up the end of that.
Because the last one was Bender's Endgame, right?
Yes, that was.
That movie was not as good. I thought
it wasn't. But
I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was okay. Third one sucked.
Yeah,
it was all right.
I don't remember a lot.
They got renewed again, so they just continued making more shit.
Do you remember that last movie?
Yeah,
because they were like D&D session.
D&D Lord of the Rings sort of spoof.
Yeah. What even happened at the end?
Farnsworth and the mom's stupid son, who is actually Farnsworth's kid,
both
ate the crystals, and then hugged, so they got close enough and sent them all back.
Fucking idiots.
We're owl exterminators.
What was the one episode where they were sitting on the ship and they were like flying through space and the universe was either like destroying or like something was happening?
Was that the Space Titanic one?
No.
They were flying into a black hole.
That was like season 1.
No, I don't think it was that one. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But okay, so those movies were supposed to be an end.
Yeah, those movies were supposed to be.
So
an end.
that one didn't really wrap things up.
No,
though.
that one was an additional one that I think came after. Like Bender's big score was
supposed to be the end.
Supposed
I think
to be the end, and then it did so well. They were like, let's do another movie. And it did
Oh,
do another movie.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was the 3 movies were already like.
Yeah, they got renewed, and they decided to take those movies and break it up into a season.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
Essentially.
yeah. And then the very last one, which I fucking loved, was how they perfectly tied everything back into a circle.
Yeah, how like Fry and Leela like live their life, are married, and then as like go back in time essentially to the very start of Futurama.
Yeah, they get stuck because time freezes.
Yeah.
So they live out their life together, and then all of a sudden Farnsworth shows up. And he's like, "We can pull you guys back, but it's going to be back at the very beginning of of it all." And then they go back to
like when Fry comes out of the freezer.
Season 1.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Shit! And they
like
just
that,
restart.
That was a fantastic way to just perfectly encapsulate the season or the series, because like you watch it all to the end, and you're like, "Okay, I can start this all over again."
Right. It's a really good cycle way of doing it.
And then like they go and we don't know what the stories are going to be about, but like in my mind, I don't really see a way to move forward from that.
Well, you take the Bubblegum Tatum and you give him a chalkboard, and him and Farnsworth are gonna nerd speak something up, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I buy it.
Was that one an episode or was that a movie? When they did basketball?
Episode and movie.
That was a great episode.
Was, the Globetrotters world.
When they were, fucking...
And the thing is, all that science is 100% correct.
It's actually right.
BS.
That's what I love the writing in Futurama. That's why
smart.
I have hope that it can... Even if, that was all tied up in a bow, this could be like Bender fucking, like...
Fucked everything up somehow.
Drank, like, moonshine, like, super space moonshine, and, like, burped a new universe, and the new universe is the new thing. Like,
I was thinking one way they could do it is just that, yes, that can still be an ending, and they could still do the same thing, and they're like, okay, this whole season is in this time frame that's kind of in the middle of everything. So it can still, start and end, and then the rest of the story can continue, which is an easy and convenient way to do it, but I hate when stories do it, because then you feel like, this is just like tacked on extra stories in the middle.
To, like, strong arm.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, I mean, like, if there's a break in the period that isn't explained, because I think that's what I liked about Star Wars Rogue One, right? They explained how the rebels, because at the beginning of Episode 4, it goes, the rebels got a hold of
the Death Star plan.
Yeah, and then they delivered it to...
And they just kind of came out of nowhere sort of thing?
Yeah,
and then it starts with Darth Vader is attacking Leia's ship because she has the Death Star plan.
Yeah, and then Rogue One comes in and goes, all right, here's that story of how the rebels got the Death Star plan.
Right.
Cool.
I actually really like that movie.
I think, so that, when done well, is really awesome. But there's also, I've heard Connor make a statement where it's like, some stuff is really good when it's left mysterious. Where it's just like...
It's open-ended. Because I know where his gripe is. With Boba Fett.
Yeah, I know, there's that. But it's like, there's this mysterious badass character, and if you just say like, there's this prison that no one ever escapes from, except for one man. And you just leave it at that, he's a fucking badass legend. But then you go and you tell the story and you're like, oh, that was super cool. But like, now we know the story. And it's like,
the
okay.
The magician revealed this trick. It's not.
All right, now we know it. Whereas before you're just like.
You're sitting there like, okay, he got out. Is it because of good behavior?
He actually was working as a chef in the kitchen.
It turns out he wasn't actually in prison. He was one of the guards.
Oh, what is it? It's like that whole season of My Name is Earl when he gets sent to the jail. He helps the warden with all of his problems, and he gets certificates for like a week off, a month off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Futurama, okay, I can see that being pretty good. At some point, what was it? South Park, they were like, all of the comedy we're writing is coming true.
Like, with all the stupidity they're doing?
Yeah, they're like, we can't write anything funnier than what's going on, so they stopped. And then MTV's like, here's, double-digit $1 million to make a bunch of movies and seasons again. And like, I mean, you can't turn that down.
Not when just free money.
Yeah, and so like
keep going.
they decided to pick it up and get going. And I mean, like, I've seen some of the newer seasons. It's all right. It's very topical.
It's still good.
Yeah.
But
it's not like, you know, the old series.
Yeah, I guess, I can see where their issue is, where it's like back then, you know, there was something that was a little silly and they would take it to the extreme. And it's hilarious because, like, oh, they just took this way too far and it's funny. Situation.
Cartman grew a new restaurant using
stem cells? Yeah, where it's just like, okay, we know what stem cells are for and this is a funny take. But yeah, I can see where they're coming. They're like, we tried to take the extreme. It's already at the extreme. We don't know how to go farther than this shit because it's retarded.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as long as you still make a funny show and you do the silly gags and you have Cartman and Randy doing stupid shit, I mean, people enjoy it. Maybe it's not as impactful as it used to be, but it's still, you know, if you're just getting paid a bunch of money and you're like, I'm just here to do my job.
An episode? Yeah, I can do it.
You show up, you do your job, and there you go.
Just phone it in for the last 4 seasons. No one will really know.
So maybe it's not going to be quite as funny as and as crazy as it was before, but I think they kind of had their time. South Park was like the show back in the day. Now it can just kind of fade into being.
Like parents used to go, you know, we want this off the air.
Yeah, you can't watch this. Well, Simpsons was the same way. It's kind of actually a similar thing to that, where Simpsons was kind of extreme, and parents were like, "Oh, this is such vile television, and no one should watch this." And then it kind of just faded into mainstream and less impactful.
Well, it's because those kids that grew up watching it became those adults, those parents.
Does the world just become more extreme then as it goes on? Because you need more shock value?
I mean, gestures vaguely and everything.
Yeah. Well, that's just real world shit, but that'd be kind of...
Okay. I want to move on to another series that all of us really, really enjoy. Like, we love Lord of the Rings. They're a fantastic series. The Hobbit was phenomenal too. And you know, all of a sudden Amazon's like, yeah, we're gonna take some untold stories, or not untold stories, they're actual stories that Tolkien wrote, but you know, they just have never been portrayed before. And I see like all of the trailers and stuff like that. I'm like, this is interesting. And then I read, I think it might be the fact that it's just got such a strong fan base that I start reading the comments and stuff like that. And a lot of people are really down on, you know, what they're expecting this stuff to be. And I think it might be the fact that it's more about the fan base being all hoity-toity and you know, turning their nose against this thing because it's not a true, you know, it's not the proper adaptation of the Tolkien world.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the Lord of the Rings trilogy was made into movies. Yes, okay, that makes sense. The Hobbit probably shouldn't have been 3 movies, but it was. But the Silmarillion is...
It's so vast.
It is literally like, say you take like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and you make that as one block, the Silmarillion is probably like 7 blocks. There is so much world building.
Are you serious?
3 ages.
Holy
I guess
shit.
like the first age, the second age, and then the third age is what Lord of the Rings is.
Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings is closer to the end of the third age.
And these are all in like books. The
Silmarillion is like it's
Silmarillion is kind of like a collection of books
of like all the notes that Tolkien wrote for world building purposes.
Okay, it's like his personal notes almost.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Did they collect it into a book of some kind?
His son kind of collected all of his
and
stuff
then,
and then
added new stuff.
Chose certain stories to release and stuff like that.
And
it's massive. So like,
holy
I'm
shit.
kind of worried about what they're gonna do with Galadriel, because like her character is actually like, she was a fucking badass, like from fucking the first age through to the end of the third age, 100% badass. I'm kind of worried about how they're gonna write her story.
Was she in the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, she was the one who gave them like the little crystal vial that like shows light that Sam uses to fend off Shelob.
She's Kate Blanchett.
She's like the elven girl who like.
Did she give the guy the hair?
Yeah, it's like the
okay, that elven girl.
That
okay.
Elven girl.
I mean, she was sort of badass in the.
She's way more badass.
Way more badass.
When she's legit
when
doing
she's
shit.
Younger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, all they have to do is show her fucking wrecking shit.
I'm just worried that they're not gonna write it properly.
So that seems strange to me, because like, you have source material. Yeah, they could fuck it up because Hollywood fucks everything up, but it's just like, I'm trying to figure out the complaints here, where it's like
I'm worried that they're because like I watched the trailer and I saw like what stuck in my mind is the scene like where the one elf like catches the arrow out of midair and then shoots it again, and I'm like, oh, they're just gonna like just shove in just bad CG fight scenes instead of actually telling the proper story.
Oh, okay.
It's the same issue that people had with The Hobbit. The Hobbit is a fantastic series. There was so much extra fluff plopped in to make 3 movies.
Right. Like you said, because it was a tiny book made into 3 movies.
Yeah. And this is
a giant fucking
90 movies gonna be broken down into like 12 episodes.
Depends on how many stories they want to tell about it.
But the fact that like the way that me and Sylvan see it is like there's so much source material that you can pull from.
Yeah.
You don't have to add in all this extra stuff and then adding in extra stuff.
But just from what you've seen in the trailers.
Yes, that's why I said I am worried. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still like I am skeptical.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
I'm not saying it's gonna be good. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
I'm just a little worried that it's not gonna
live up to the hype.
To what I
to the
know
to
of
the,
the story,
to the bar. Okay, see, I get it, but also it seems kind of strange to me that it's like all we have so far is a trailer, like a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we're so fucking terrified. But it's like they have source material to work with, just like all the other books. I mean, yeah, the other movies, they're probably passion projects, and like the dude directing it had a fucking ton of influence. Was that
Percy Jackson?
Was it Percy Jackson?
No.
Sorry,
Spielberg? Percy Jackson is the
lightning.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he did that too. It's not Spielberg, is it?
No, it's what is his name? Fucking
Bilbo
Peter
Baggins.
something.
Oh,
Peter Jackson. That's one.
Okay, he had a bunch of influence at that point, right?
Yes, but
they would have just given him the movie and been you fucking
what,
man.
What he wanted Aragorn to show up in The Hobbit. They wanted to pay Viggo, like they were willing to pay Viggo millions of dollars to show up in The Hobbit.
Same thing with Legolas.
Yeah,
Legolas
but he's
is
like,
not in The Hobbit.
Right, he's like, I'm not in The Hobbit, so I'm not going to be in the movie.
Like Viggo was like, Aragorn's not in The Hobbit. I'm not showing up.
Fuck, I was going to say Percy Jackson again.
Peter Jackson.
Did he direct The Hobbits?
Yeah.
So he could fuck it up for the influence.
I don't know if he's directing the
the Amazon stuff. No, I don't believe so.
I know it just seems kind of funny to me that we have nothing so far. There is source material. It's like they could be very good.
Man, there's a lot of shows and movies that have been fucked up that had source material.
I watch anime. I know all about that. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
No, but it's just funny to me that's like we've gotten a tiny 2-minute trailer and everyone's like, oh, this is gonna be the worst shit ever. It's like, dude, you haven't even fucking seen episode 1 yet.
Again, I think it all goes like my issue is it all goes back to the fan base. There's a very like strong fan base for Lord of the Rings,
dedicated,
and like what is it? The issues with the trailers were like, oh, why do the elves have short hair? If you look at all the other movies,
yeah, God, if this is what we're talking about,
like,
fuck off.
Like the short hair elves, I don't care about that. The fact that they have like a different different races playing as elves, so they're not just like white people. Yeah, it's like I don't care about
whatever.
That.
We're getting wokeness. That's fine.
I don't.
Yeah,
that does not.
There's
bother
a
me
female
at all.
dwarf with no beard. Everyone's really angry about that.
That I think people were like angry, but it was more of like a mocking angry.
She doesn't even have a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the hardcore fan base is where fucking hieroglyphic textbook based.
I don't know what that meant.
I don't know either, but we're running with it.
And to me, it goes along the lines of like Game of Thrones too. Like when they were on the source material, season 8 is a whole different thing.
Yeah,
there was no source material for that. But like when they were on the source material and stuff like that, like you could see that after every episode aired, there were like threads and threads of shit on the internet about like, why the hell did they shoehorn Ed Sheeran into this thing?
Oh, right. Or this is wrong, and this wasn't like this, and this character did this.
Yeah.
Or have you ever watched a movie based on a book?
They totally ignored Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome to throw in.
That's just the fucking medium, man. You can't take a 40-hour book and watch a 2-hour movie and expect to get everything.
And you know, I don't know if you guys are big fans of Halo or not, but like, there's a Halo series coming out as well. And,
is there?
Yeah. Ooh. And the thing is, it's non-canon.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So then they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Do whatever the fuck, and like in the trailers and stuff like that, like Halo's like futuristic war and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So part of the trailer, you can see a Chevy Tucson
Hell
in the background, and the guys. And the rebels that are like the settlers that are trying to defend themselves from aliens are walking around with AK-47s.
Hell yeah!
And they're sitting there going,
"Are they in spacesuits?"
No, I mean, this is a colonized planet. And
so it's just gonna look like a.
Basically, it looks like
a trailer park.
Yeah.
It looks like an outpost with like a hut in the desert, and it's being attacked by aliens.
Yeah, and then so like you have these CGI aliens plop down, shooting these
like needlers with
like plasma and like energy weapons, and the settlers are defending themselves with AK-47s and driving around Tucson's.
So
this didn't have to be Halo whatsoever.
I mean, it would have been awesome just to see like a. Okay, it would have been really funny to see like Master Chief like ramp off of something, ditch his warthog, have that warthog crash into an alien, and then he just lands and starts killing things with. I mean, granted, like the weapons you got from like as Master Chief were fairly.
But just
normal
imagine
sniper.
Yeah, just imagine this. Just imagine this. The Master Chief is on a warthog and he's driving and he ramps off to get into the base, right? He ditches his warthog. The warthog goes and flies and crashes into like a banshee or something like that and takes it down.
Yeah.
Master Chief rolls up, pops open the door of a Tucson, hops in, starts it, and then drives to continue on.
Kind of takes you out of the element there a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny because the way you described this is like little outpost settlement getting attacked by aliens was like, oh, this is sounding a lot like the StarCraft book. Like the first one. Because it's literally an outpost planet, fucking tiny outpost desert, getting attacked by the Zerg, and it's like, that one even makes more sense because they're still like kind of human time, and they're still walking around with fucking regular rifles shit and all that.
See, like the thing I will say is what I liked about like say something like Star Wars, right? The original idea was they took real guns and just added bits and bobs to it, right? But like if you have,
but they're firing lasers.
Yeah, they're firing lasers. But it's like a World War II. It's like a World War II pistol with with a bobble on the nozzle, and they pretend to shoot it, and it fires lasers. Cool.
Worked perfectly for me.
Yeah,
looks futuristic.
Exactly. But then when you go from something like Halo, where you have all these futuristic weapons and everything like that, and then
you're shooting around regular guns and AK-40s. Okay. See, to me, that seems not a failure of properly doing the source. That feels like you took a different story and just slapped on a Halo title because it's popular.
What a lot of people.
That's fucking terrible. A lot of things have done that too, where you're just like, this didn't need the title on this at all. Yeah, this could have been a completely separate.
The only reason it's a Halo movie is because Master Chief is in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are they gonna do it as like some sort of origin story or some shit?
Oh no, they do explain this, a bit of the thing. My only concern is that Master Chief is a faceless character. He wears a suit. It's an iconic suit.
He never takes his helmet off, does he?
No, but I think
they didn't get the voice of Master Chief.
Master Chief. Does he even say much?
Yeah, that's quite a bit actually.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Halo, so I don't know.
Yeah, so they don't get him, but they do get the voice of Cortana, and she's playing Cortana. Wow. And people are kind of annoyed that it doesn't look like the video game Cortana, but they got the actual voice actress to do Cortana.
You can't please everyone.
No,
So, and that's part of, depends on which fucking fans you're listening to about getting outraged. It's like, some of them have reasonable objections, some of them are just being tools.
Something like that, where it's like, the character shouldn't take off his mask, it doesn't matter who's playing. It's like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Right? James Earl Jones did the voice. Didn't matter who was playing Vader underneath, right? Master Chief should be the same way.
Yeah.
Right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless for some reason you can't get the voice actor.
The voice is very iconic. It's just like we go back to Futurama. If Bender didn't come back and they had to get somebody who sounded like Bender, it'd throw the whole project off.
It wouldn't be as good.
Yeah, unfortunately I have to agree. Because I was thinking, it's not that big a deal, but I've seen a couple things, I'm like, nah, that would have pissed me right the fuck off. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I guess no, that's a fair objection. I'd be quite upset.
Like even on that line, like if you watch the Aladdin movies from the 90s to the early 2000s, the first one, Robin Williams. The second one is not Robin Williams.
It's Homer Simpson.
The second one is Homer Simpson.
Is it Simpson?
Yeah.
And people didn't like that, so the third one is Robin Williams again.
Yeah. Oh, people got furious about that.
The second one did not did not do well. Granted, it wasn't that great of a movie, but still.
Well, the only reason that they came out with the second one was because the first one did so well, and then they did the animated series with the with Homer Simpson doing the genie role, and that did pretty good. Oh, so like, okay, we can do this. And Robin Williams had a lot of legal stuff written into his thing where his voice couldn't be replicated, or they couldn't use them for promotional stuff and whatnot. And there's certain things about, like, especially with IPs like that, where it's like it's not attached to a face, right? Like Christian Bale is Batman. You can see Christian Bale as Batman. You think of his voice, and that's iconic, right? And then you go and do other Batman movies with Clooney and
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, that new one's out, and it's like, okay, cool. It's a different guy, Ben Affleck. It's like, all right, it's a different guy, different voice. I can buy in to it being a different.
Because they're trying to do like a different story. Yeah, they're not trying to say we're still in the same universe and the same timeline as that old Batman. This is a fucking different Batman. Like, get out of here.
Well, it's even in stuff like when cartoons or whatever, like, recast a character after the first season or something like that, and you're like, who's this?
Not cartoons, but I was thinking Iron Man did that pretty well, changing the...
Yeah, they changed
I don't want to say...
Machine.
Yeah.
Changed
I was going to describe it somehow, but I didn't want
Terrence
to.
Howard
to Don Cheadle.
Yeah, and it's just like, you just kind of go, oh, okay, they had to change actors, whatever.
Actually, even like from season 1 of Game of Thrones, they changed from who was playing the Mountain to Hafthorne Bjornsson.
Really?
He wasn't season 1's Mountain.
Oh, wow.
But he's the iconic Mountain.
Yeah.
He's fucking enormous.
They're like, we found a bigger mountain. I think if done properly, it can work. And the other shitty thing is, like, say like the Futurama with the Bender voice. Like, if the company tried to make a deal with the guy and it doesn't go through, it's not like the company wants to fucking throw him under the bus and say, oh, but we tried, we offered him some money and he didn't accept it. Like, fuck this guy, right? It's like the company has to be professional about it. So it's just like, okay, here's the cast list, and everyone goes, well, you didn't get this guy, and it's like,
we tried.
We can't say anything, but there's some shit going on behind the scenes, and you just guys have to deal with it. Like, there's so much shit going on in business.
Is it more of an issue with, I guess, entitlement from like the market, the fans,
or
like, also entitlement of the voice actor who thinks?
But that's the thing, we don't know. Like, for all we know, they could have been trying to shaft Joe DiMaggio.
Yep.
Joe DiMaggio might have been like, no, that's not enough.
Like,
yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So it's like, you can scream and rage all you want, but sometimes shit just happens and it doesn't work out. And it could be, the company was a fucking dickbag. It could have been Joe DiMaggio. Yeah. He could have been a dickbag. We don't know.
John DiMaggio? John DiMaggio. Not Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio was in the 50s.
Yeah. I think he was a baseball player.
Yeah.
Wait, was he?
No, I think he was.
I was joking.
I thought it was a bit.
I think there's a DiMaggio baseball player.
That's a little too old for me.
It's also a DiMaggio pizza.
That's Delisio.
It's DiGiorno.
Delivery.
We're intelligent.
No, we're not.
I don't know. As of right now, I guess because I'm not a big fan, I don't buy all the fear mongering about this new Hobbit or Lord of the Rings show. Because it's like, dude, just wait for the first or 2 episodes. Give it a watch. See if they fucked it up. They can fuck it up. I guarantee they can fuck it up if they try hard enough. Maybe
if they don't try hard enough.
Maybe they do it right. Maybe they do it wrong. Maybe it turns into a Bollywood film.
I really hope so.
I hope it.
No space on memory card.
Oh no.
You fucked
I guess
up.
The video fucked up.
Way to go, Jayson.
This is now an audio podcast. I'm taking off my pants.
You were wearing pants?
Dun dun dun.
All right.
Well, we weren't on the chairs, so.
I had technical difficulties slide.
Hey, it's on again.
No, it's on. It's not recording though.
God, I'm ugly.
Oh yeah, it's still recording. Trying to think of. Okay, my other thing I was thinking of with remakes was like they keep redoing Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And they just announced a new.
They did a new one, but I'm thinking like, okay, how many times have they redone Red and Blue? Like 4 times by now.
It is the Nintendo way.
It is.
Nintendo will re-release games over and over again because they don't have to do anything. They maybe have to up-res some stuff.
Some of them they have to rebuild.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's easy as fuck to rebuild a game that's already existed.
Yeah, and like you just gotta. I mean, most of the games are the SNES series or whatever, right? And it's like you don't have to pay an artist to bring up character models into the HD world, and it's like we're just gonna keep re-releasing games because people will buy them.
Yeah.
Skyrim again.
I can't wait to play Skyrim on my fridge.
Your Samsung fridge.
Play Skyrim on the same.
That sentence was a failure.
Most of the things we do is a failure.
Anyways,
well, what was it? I saw something on Reddit where it's like the guy programmed the beginning cutscene of Skyrim onto a pregnancy test.
Holy shit. Dude, by that point, that fucking beginning cutscene is like meme lore.
Yeah.
It's going to be investigated in the 300s. The 3000s is what I meant, but yeah.
I knew what you meant,
Thank
but
you.
I wasn't going to say it.
No, I appreciate it. But I was just thinking, on one hand, yes, I hate Nintendo for re-releasing shit again and again and again and making me pay full price. You fucking dickbags. On the other hand, I really like playing Red in brand new graphics and with quality of life upgrades. I'm like, fuck, this game could have been even funner. And it is.
So many evolutions.
Yes. Although they keep fucking up the new gens. Fucking auto EXP share that you can't shut off.
What?
Yeah.
They baby the games a lot, the newer seasons.
But I thought that the whole thing with EXP share was like you didn't get to like guide the growth of that Pokemon because like what you fight against.
Oh, that's if you're doing the IV training. IV training?
Yeah. IV training.
That I never understood where it's like, yeah, if you fight more, say like rock Pokemons who are high defense, that ups your defense IV?
Yep. It all depends
Fucking
on what
crazy,
certain
man.
Pokemon
Yeah.
give you. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
I guess that would
heavily
affect.
into that just so that I could have a super fast Scyther to one shot everything.
Sick. So you had to find specific Pokemon to go train against?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I would just raise up his stat, and then like Gen 1, your speed stat was tied into the crit.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the faster you are, so I would get the first hit, and then I would choose a high crit attack like Slash.
Yeah.
And then because my speed was so high, I went first and I crit on it almost everything.
Holy shit.
So I just walk around and just one-shot things.
Gen 1 was pretty broken in a lot of regards.
Psychic Pokemon. That's literally just it.
Yeah.
Alakazam.
Yeah, Alakazam could just fucking one-shot the whole game.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, but you had to trade to get them. You had to have friends. That was hard.
That's why I only had a Kadabra. And that fucker still wrecked shit.
Yep.
What was I thinking? Yeah, so the new, because they just announced a new one. The last one was that Shining Pearl, which I guess was a remake.
Well, technically the last one was Legends of Arceus.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm ignoring that one. Okay, just the regular gen ones. Actually, that's another topic I want to get into is all the new Pokemons. But yeah, the last gen one, where is the Shining Pearl, which was a remake, but quality of life improvements. EXP share on from the beginning, cannot shut it off. Fuck you. Suck my D.
Why? I don't understand why you can't shut it off. Like, how is that?
It would
taking
literally be
away-
one button in the settings menu.
Yeah, it's
turn
like-
off.
Like, sure, it's automatically on for most of the
Sure.
people. Like, because if you want to be hand holding, but if you want to play Pokemon and not have your hand held like all the time, like that should be an option.
And the worst part is, it's not because I'm trying to IV train and be hardcore. It's because I just want to use each Pokemon and actually battle with them a few times. But where with the EXP share, it's like I could just battle with one Pokemon the entire game, and the rest of my team will follow along. They might be a couple levels behind, but like they're strong
Beedrill.
enough. Only not Zigzag. What was the Zigzag of the newest gen?
Zigzag? What? Zigzagoon?
Zigzagoon.
Bidoof.
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 Fucking Bidoof.
Bidoof uses roll up. I guess I'll die then.
Fuck. Oh man, not. What was the one of that Sword and Shield or something? It was the big
Miltank.
Miltank?
That fucking
the
asshole.
What was the
Miltank
big
was Gen
sheep?
2.
No, it wasn't.
The-
What was
yeah,
the big
the-
sheep?
Wooly or something like that.
Yeah, I had a big sheep, and that fucker was so tanky. Oh my god.
Fucking, I can still remember back in Gen 2, Miltank uses roll out. Just shut your game off. It doesn't matter. Your Pokemon's fucking dead.
GG boys. Try again tomorrow. Gen 2. Nice. But yeah, so they just came out with our Legends of Arceus.
Yeah, Arceus, however you want
whatever.
to pronounce it.
And then now there's the new gen coming out, which is not a
Scarlet,
remake.
Scarlet and Violet.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Nice.
So like
Wait.
red and blue.
Oh yeah, those were colors. And then we went gemstones. Now we're back to colors?
Well, there was
pearl?
red, blue, yellow.
Yep.
Gen 2 was silver, gold,
And
crystal.
Yeah.
Colors. And one gem.
3 was sapphire,
Gem.
ruby,
Gem.
and emerald.
Gem.
4 was...
That's where I stopped.
Was that black and white?
Oh. Do those count as like the regular gens?
Yeah. Black and white.
I've heard a lot of good things about black and white.
No, black and white was the worst one.
Oh shit, I'm wrong. Was it more like mature though?
I think it was a very edgelordy.
Yeah, like
villain.
a dark. Maybe that's what I heard.
Then there was black and white 2.
Yeah. Black and white reborn.
No.
Black and white revenge.
What was after
Black and white reloaded.
After
Black, too white.
Blacker and whiter.
What was
Black 7.
5?
Black
White 8.
B&W. Anyways.
No, Gen 5 was black and white. What was Gen 4?
Elixir and pomegranate.
The Pearl and Diamond were Gen 4.
Yes.
Then it goes black and white. And
Gem.
And
Those are colors too. You know, this wall is painted a nice pearl white.
And then it went black and white 2. And then it
Not
went,
a white.
X and Y. And then sun and moon.
X and Y is hard to make a color.
Then they went back and did...
Sun and moons are colors in the sky.
They did Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
So color hard.
And then there was Sun and Moon 2.
Trying to break Sylvan here.
Oh, he's trying, but I live with Dan.
Nothing
And
stops.
nothing breaks me.
Dan is...
My will is iron.
Dan's your Omega Sun.
Oh, God.
I mean, like at some point, do you guys find that like, you know, people are just running out of ideas, so they're just going back to the old, you know,
Of course.
nostalgia well?
Yes.
Like, am I going to see a reboot of like the Recess series, or the Weekenders?
I mean...
Okay, I'm trying to think. On one hand, yes. But on the other hand, some shows are kind of generic enough that you can do like a reboot of the same type of story, but call it something new. And it's just like, oh, kids. So like, say Recess. It's just...
I don't think Recess would apply anymore because the idea of it all, right? The premise of it all was
Kids
that,
don't have recess anymore.
Well, it's not the kids that. It's not the fact that kids don't have recess. It's like this whole hierarchy system.
Oh, at schools.
Yeah, like because I mean, in Recess, they were ruled by the 6th graders.
Yeah, and they had the jock kids, the nerdy kids, the...
Yeah, Digger
Kind of.
Dave, Digger Sam.
Did they even have the
Ashleys.
hierarchy, or do they just have a weird bunch of cliques?
Kindergartners were savages.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
they
funny. That was a good show. But yeah, no, I mean, maybe it
But
is.
like if you try and do something for that, like how do iPads, how do cell phones fit in all of that? You know, TikTok.
Yeah, and I guess maybe the other problem is, so we were the young. I would assume, say we're the young kids who grew up watching that, and then now we're 30s, and they try and do a reboot. It's like, well, either they have to make it older to hit us as the audience that used to enjoy it, or they make it young, and it's like, well, then you don't even have to use that name again. Just make it a new show.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get these little kids who are like, oh, I know Recess because my uncle was talking about it. It's like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a point. It has to be something that can either you enjoy as a kid and as an adult. So say like Nintendo and Pokemon, you can still play that your whole life. Or you time shift it with the age of the people.
Dude, what was it? I saw it, I read it online, but like, let's redo, they should redo Friends, but like, what was it? Joey as an actor is out of work and addicted to pills. Ross has to drive for Uber outside of his professor job to pay for bills. Phoebe needs to open an OnlyFans. And no one goes down to the coffee shop because they can't afford it every day, and they're all just depressed.
It's a sad outlook on our current world.
You know, it would have cost you literally nothing to not say that and make me sad.
enjoy it. The shitty thing is, like, I guess I'm kind of against reboots and all that.
I am too.
But if someone said, hey, we're going to go... I was going to think, I was like, if we're going to take Chrono Trigger and just modernize it, on one hand, I'd be stoked as fuck.
Or is it going to be like Chrono Trigger, where they just, it's the same story, same characters, same playstyle, they just upgraded it to
like the Final Fantasy
remake.
Yeah.
Or are they taking Chrono Trigger as the IP and making a new Chrono Trigger?
I know.
I don't think that would go over well.
No, it wouldn't. And to make it more modern, it was like a turn-based top-down. Like, you can make it look better, but not that much better. So then you'd have to do it like as a 3D. And if you turn it 3D, you fucked with the whole game at this point.
Okay, so let's take it back to entertainment again. Fairly Odd Parents is coming out with a new series.
Really?
Live action series.
Live action series. But Cosmo and Wanda are still cartoons.
That's just stupid. But okay.
So are they taking, like I could imagine someone's pitching this idea. I was like, okay, it's Fairly Odd Parents. But it's Fairly Odd Parents if it had like a love child with Space Jam.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean the only people that show up in cartoon form is Wanda and Cosmo and who's the big angry army fairy? Jorgen, something like that.
Wasn't there like a baby one too?
There was lots.
Once you get further in the show, there's like weird shit.
It's like it's different kids, and like Timmy shows up as a real life person to go, hey, your life sucks. I know what can make it better. Here's your new Fairly Godparents.
Okay, this is the shitty part whenever you take something animated and do live action. A big part of the show of Fairly Odd Parents is that they do ridiculous, stupid shit.
Yeah, they turn Crocker into like a dragon or something like that.
Turn his house into a bouncy castle with fucking moats and a waterfall, and it's all made of candy or some shit. You turn that to live action, it's like, I have Fairly Odd Parents, and they do some magic wish, and his computer goes from being a shitty laptop to this fucking gorgeous PC, and you're like,
actually,
okay.
That's what they showed off in the trailer. The girl wished she had a better room, and all of a sudden it went from like this dingy little attic into, painted walls and actual furniture and shit.
So it's Pimp My Ride, but just my life. It's just Pimp My Life.
You're not gonna get the same scenes of like Timmy's dad turning his car into a robot to go fight the Dinklebirds.
Yeah.
Fight the neighbors.
Dinklebird. But yeah, so it's like, that was the whole point of the show. So if you just turned it into, someone who just makes my life better, it's just like, honestly, it's kind of a depressing show at that point. It's like, hey, your life was shitty. Here's it's going to look better. And you're like, oh, I wish I could do that with my life. Well, you just need some money.
And like, a lot of the problems that this main character, this girl has, is it's kind of like, it's white privilege power. Okay? So her and her dad, she's been living with her dad because her mom died or something like that. And he gets remarried. Right, and like this, like they have the new wife has a kid or whatever, and like he wants her to be friendly and open to this new family, and like the other side of the family is trying to put in the effort of being friendly and welcoming her, and she's sitting there crying about like, oh, I miss the days of like when it was just me and my dad, and it's like, this is white people problem, like, this is white privilege, like.
So wait, and like even the mom and the new kid are trying to be friendly? Oh, so she's being a bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
so you don't even
Cuz like if you think about it, like Timmy had a fucking terrible childhood, right?
Cuz his
parents were kind of just absent.
Yeah, parents didn't really care about him. His babysitter was a dick to him. He didn't have a lot of
He had
friends.
Two friends.
And his teacher picked on him.
Okay, so yeah, kind of a shitty childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and I mean, like if you look at like,
but even his wasn't that bad. Like really.
Really.
Depends on how
like,
bad you want to go. But
like you look at that one scene of like his dad explaining like the trophy case. He's like, this is where I put my trophy if I had one.
Or it's like, when did your dream die? I don't know.
How old are you?
Yeah. So I don't think his parents were very. Okay, so yeah, that one had some merit. It wasn't even that bad. It had some merit. So the new one is just her being a biatch, and then let's make your life fantastical. See, because it almost doesn't work in a real life setting because it's like, we're gonna make your life better by materialistic things. Whereas like, no, you should be looking at social and emotional and psychological.
I don't know, maybe try being a family.
Try working with your family. Try getting along with them. If you don't have friends at school, trying to be a bit less weird, or I don't know, like.
Yeah, Ray, stop being so fucking weird.
I have friends, or at least pretend ones.
Ray buys supper sometimes.
They're paid to be here.
We get chips.
I don't even get chips. So that just seems like.
Yeah, that one
I haven't seen an episode and I hate it.
I'm skeptical about The Lord of the Rings. That one I am very skeptical. I am expecting failure.
Well, I am extremely skeptical of anything trying to do animated live action. It's always garbage. Although I will say I saw the Death Note one. Wasn't the worst.
Well, there was a precedent set beforehand because the Japanese did a live action one. That was pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also just the story lends itself a lot better. It's like nothing super fantastical happens in that one. He writes in a book, people die.
Yeah.
We can do that in live action.
Willem Dafoe just, speaks to him.
Was it Willem Dafoe? Fucking weird. That's funny. So, some stuff can almost work, but like the Dragon Ball ones.
Yeah, no, that's, like you can't make fantastical shit like that work in a modern world.
Not really. Although it's funny because at first I was like, they only shoot like 1 or 2 beams. I was like, well, that's bullshit. It's like the whole show is shooting beams, and then you go and watch it. Man, they don't shoot a lot of beams.
No, Goku doesn't learn the Kamehameha until like a half the season in.
Are you talking Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
Because Dragon Ball, because the
see, I started at Z. So.
They called it it was Dragon Ball Evolution or whatever. It was meant to do the original.
Really?
Dragon Ball
but wasn't he already like?
He was a teenager supposedly, but it was again Hollywood teenager. So the guy was like 25 playing a teenager.
Okay, maybe that's what threw me off so much. I'm like, the fuck. But yeah. So it's like really they didn't beam a lot. So you're like, man, if you just throw some really sick martial arts and have them jumping all over the place with some wires or some shit, then still wasn't great. But didn't they also do a live action Cowboy Bebop?
Yes, and that was okay.
I heard bad things, but I didn't see it myself, so I can't judge.
It's not too bad. And again, I feel like it was the hardcore fans crapping on it.
Right, because it's not our show.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no way you can do a shot-for-shot remake of all that stuff.
Here's another question. If they're doing a reboot, either say better graphics or animated to live action or whatever, do you want it to be shot-for-shot or do you want them to do something different? Because it's like, if you're doing a shot-for-shot, honestly, why the fuck are we doing a reboot when you think about it? Because it's like, if we're just going to redo fucking Cowboy Bebop again, well, I'll just go watch her. Yeah.
People will go and see it.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason why.
I mean, if you vaguely put, Fast and the Furious films are kind of like that.
Then I'll watch it.
Yeah, Ray you will actually go and watch every single one of them.
I haven't watched the newest one though.
Oh fuck! I don't even know what it's called. Furious 7, Fast 8. I think is where we're at now. Fast 8.
Fast 10. Family Matters.
It's all for the family. Wasn't he in some other movie as a cameo recently?
Oh fuck! I have no idea.
It might have been a meme on Reddit. Because I think they had him in like Spider-Man or something. He's like, Family Matters.
Yeah, that's
like,
probably.
Just put him at the end of every fucking movie in the credits.
Yeah. So all we can agree on is that entertainment's running out of ideas. They need original IPs.
They've been running out of ideas since fucking 97.
Okay. Yes. I'm just trying to think, like, it is interesting that they started doing, like, they did a lot of superhero stuff, obviously.
It's like because they hit the time where they can actually do it all.
Yeah, and they have the CGI and it looks really cool and all that shit. Awesome. It's like there's a billion fucking comic books. You can just keep grabbing new ones and turning those into movies.
They can just keep. I mean, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. They keep retelling the same
story.
Okay,
those ones, yeah. But
even Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, that the films that we love was technically a remake because they're in the 70s.
There was an animated Lord of the Rings as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. How old are those books?
Probably, I want to say like 60s, maybe 50s.
Holy shit!
Wow. Tolkien was born in like.
He fought in the wars.
Yeah, he fought in like all the wars. I think he was born in like 1911 or something like that.
Which war did you fight in? All of them. There's so many wars. Damn, dude. Yeah. Okay. So the point was, it's like, oh, you keep doing Superman and Spider-Man all the time again, over and over. Just grab a different fucking comic book hero who's never had a animated movie or a movie or a live action or whatever.
Netflix or somebody's putting out a Moon Knight. Like Moon Knight is getting his own show.
Yeah. It's a Disney Plus one.
So it's like, okay, yes, we're running out of ideas and we're doing reboots and stuff, but it's like, at least it's new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's always like the main ones that everyone knows and loves that they'll keep rebooting. Yeah, but they are like Shang-Chi was another one.
No, they are branching out.
And then Moon Knight's another one.
So if people bitch about that, it's like, man, no, you're just really fucking picking hairs. Like, at least they're trying something different.
The Fellowship of the Rings was originally published in 1954.
Jesus, what a beast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And those movies came out, what, like in the 90s, 2000?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000?
2001, I think, was Fellowship of the Ring.
Wow.
Because that was a very baby Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Baby everybody.
Was he dead by then, or is he still around?
Elijah Wood is
no, the fucking Token.
Oh, Token. I think he was dead by then.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wonder if someone just like... That always makes me wonder. Someone... Because it's like been 50, 60 years since the book came out, and they're like, just a passion project where they're like, I fucking love this book. I need to make a movie about this.
Tolkien was born 1892, died in 1973.
Yeah, so way. Yeah. Wow, he was like old when he put all his books on. Or end of his life cycle. But no, it's just that kind of fascinates me. If there's people in Hollywood, especially the people who kind of like have made a lot of movies and they're well known, and the studios are willing to fund a project, and they're like, fucking, I read this book when I was a kid. I fucking love this book. I need to make a movie about this.
Everybody poops. I need to turn that into a movie.
And the studios are like, we're willing to give you $1 billion budget because you fucking crank out hammer hits. And he's like, I'm going to get the best actors right now, and we're going to have the best CGI. I just got to be the best movie.
Everybody poops. Coming to theaters this summer.
3D.
Rated R. Starts Friday.
Oh, it's everywhere.
No. A lot of movies aren't made like that, though.
I know, but like, I feel like those are the Those can either be the kick-ass ones or the ones you see in movies and you're like, who gave this fucker a fucking... Yeah, like, he's videotaping on his iPhone, and that's how he made the movie, and it's his passion project. It's garbage.
I mean, those ones are ones that is actually a passion project, so it wasn't really funded.
Yeah, yeah. But like a studio-funded passion project, I think you can get some pretty kick-ass shit. Because the people actually care.
You know what? That was Treasure Planet from Disney back in the 90s.
Yeah, but the guy had to jump through so many hoops.
They fucked him over.
Yeah, Disney fucked him over for it.
It was funded.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
See?
It's fantastic.
It was good.
But nobody knows about it.
Because it was right around the time that they did...
another big movie.
Atlantis.
Which is funny. Was that one even that popular?
No.
But it was a really good movie, too.
Well, see, that was during Disney's like weird
phase.
Weird shift in art style that people didn't really like.
Yeah.
When people started to get back into,
because I think at the tail,
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, that was the tail end of that kind of weird art style.
Yeah. Looked good. Fuck, it still looks good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what I want to turn into? I'm going to adapt a children's book. What is it? All My Friends Are Dead. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sounds like a lovely, pleasant movie.
I'll figure out a trilogy too. It's Everybody Poops, All My Friends Are Dead, and then another one.
The Necromancer Rises.
Can I die in all three of them?
Can I poop myself to death?
Sylvan will be the one link that links all my films together. It's in the same universe.
He's an extra that dies in every movie.
Wilhelm scream.
Just like the last movie, I'm not in it at all. Credits roll. I'm like the very end, like after
Cameo.
the credits. I'm just like sitting in the studio. I'm like reading the script. I'm like, hey, I'm not in this. And then Jayson just walks up and shoots me in the face.
Happy birthday.
I turned to the camera. You caught that, right? Yeah. All right.
Nice.
I'm going to jail.
I was just going to say, if I had fucking studio funding, there's a book series I read as a kid I would love to turn into movies. It's called Broken Sky. Probably no one ever has heard of this shit. It was, I don't know, I don't think it was a very popular book at all, but it got its own 9-book series. Not very long books. It was like young adult fiction, but honestly, I think it could, especially with modern day tech and some CGI, it could be done live action.
Well, I mean, what is it? They did the Artemis Fowl books as a film.
Was that where he's like a spy spy or like a
something like that.
and he's a kid.
Yeah,
I heard both good and bad.
the books are good.
Yeah, the movie
was, I think it's terrible.
Was
Ender's
it?
Game they adapted into a
I didn't.
film.
I should see that movie.
The Giver.
Was that the second of the Ender Game? No, The Giver.
The Giver is a book about like this kid that they're in some sort of like dystopian future. They have to take drugs to suppress their sexual urges.
Oh,
and like at the end of it, he runs off with like a little baby because the baby was about to be euthanized because it was a twin.
Interesting. Sounds pleasant.
And then there's like Ender's Game, the Guardians of Ga'Hoole books. Redwall got turned into an animated series.
Isn't that an older one?
Yeah.
That was
The animated series though?
Yeah. That was like in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was great. I love that series.
So I mean, it happens. I don't know. There's a lot of
But
fucking
I don't know if those
stuff
were
out
passion
there.
projects or
No,
if
okay.
studios just saw a beloved
Hey, we can
book,
fucking make money
and
off
they were
this.
like, yeah, we can
Yeah. Okay, and it
profit.
doesn't always have to be a passion project. I think I was just going off on a tangent there. I don't know. As long as the person cares, tries to follow the source material somewhat, I can understand when they have to make changes where it's like, hey, we only have 12 episodes and we need a fucking ending. Let's change the story a bit to find a resolution.
Yeah. All right.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
So, everybody heard it first. I am going to do a passion project. Go to GoFundMe to help fund me write or turn my favorite book into a movie. All My Friends Are Dead. It's going to star Dan as the sad dinosaur whose friends have all died because of the mass extinction event, and he is now depressed. You heard it here first. Give me money to make this a reality.
It's his passion project.
Yeah.
It's just Dan in a dinosaur costume from like some costume shop, like the
It's like a
fucking
it's
dollar
like a children's
store.
Halloween,
Oh,
children's
God.
Halloween costume, and it's just it's not set anywhere. It's just Dan sitting in his basement being sad.
I'd go see it.
Or like yeah, it'll be you Dan and Syl sitting in dinosaur costumes in his basement. I'm gonna run up off camera and chuck like a paper meteor at you. You two die.
No.
Dan just sits there sad.
My friends are dead.
All my friends are dead.
No, sir.
All right. We're gonna call it there. Thank you guys for joining me on another episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. Sorry about the video cutting halfway through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll figure our shit out eventually.
Peace.
Bye guys.
That was a long one.
I need to pee.
No.